Okay, so as you can hear, we are night sailing. So we are just leaving Beckway. We pulled out and pulled anchor at 1 a.m. Set an alarm for 1 o'clock in the morning. And we had everything ready and stowed before bedtime, before dark. Had an early night, went to bed about 9 o'clock just to get a few hours sleep before we got up for the trip. So we pulled anchor in the dark, navigated our way out through the boats, no problems, no mooring balls in the way, nothing, so everything went well, nice and smooth. And we are just out in the channel now between Beckway and St. Vincent, and it is a spectacular night. I wish you could see the stars outside, but it's perfectly clear aside from just the city glow over by Kingstown, over by St. Vincent there. But apart from that, it's a beautiful night. We've got steady winds now that we're getting away from Beckway. The wind is about 20 to 24 knots just south of east. So just south of east. So as we're heading north now, the wind is just coming off of Beckway behind us a little bit. So it's been a little bit gusty as we were leaving Beckway, but now it is steadied out and we're averaging 4.5, 5 knots already. There's no major waves in the channel here. This is the channel that can really kick the crap out of you if it's bad winds, bad current, anything like that. But tonight it is being nice to us. So we're enjoying a very nice start to the trip. Nice and smooth, as you can see. We're not jostling around too bad, even though we're in the channel. And in about 2 hours we'll fall behind St. Vincent, so we'll come in behind St. Vincent there, and that's when we'll probably start to lose some wind and stall out a little bit. So that'll slow us down for a little while, but then the sun will start to come up shortly after that, just as we round the top of St. Vincent and head out into the channel between St. Vincent and St. Lucia, which is probably about 30 miles of open water, and that should happen just in the daylight. So I think we're going to have a nice sail for that too. The wind looks to be perfect, should be consistent 20 to 25, and just south of east, so exactly what we need for this part of the course. And then once we leave St. Lucia, we'll be heading kind of just west of north course, so anything east winds is going to be perfect. So far things are looking good. We should be in St. Lucia on time. We're expecting to be there early afternoon tomorrow, so maybe just after lunchtime. So far so good. See how things go in the course of the next few hours. Still good 20 knots. The sun's just coming up. It's pretty, eh? Just getting our new wind for the morning though, so the boat's trying to fight it a little bit. So this mountain's still going to mess with us a little bit, I'm sure. What did you say? We were just over 7 knots down. We're about 5 again now. And we got about 26 knots of wind apparent. We're heading right on course, so everything's good. It was a good night. Nice and quiet last night. I saw one private boat go by, one ship. I guess you saw one sailboat, right?
Yeah, I saw one.
So now we're heading out into the open water, just passing into the channel between St. Vincent and St. Lucia. And that should put us about probably about 5 hours or so. We'll be close to the coast of St. Lucia and then start heading up the coast for Marigot Bay. Yeah, I'd say in about 5 hours, maybe 6, we'll probably have the pitons beside us. that should be a nice day of sailing. See what we get on the open water. It is about 10 o'clock in the morning and we are smoking along, averaging 7.5 knots. Beautiful day. We got 28 to 32 knots of wind apparent. So we're getting good lift from that. We got our reef in the main, reef in the jib, both sails reefed, and we are pointed right on course. So we should be there on schedule, or maybe a little bit ahead of schedule, we'll see. But there's no land in sight anywhere right now. So we're just out on the Caribbean Sea. I'm just starting to see little peaks off in the distance there. Yeah, it looks like, yeah, there it is. Just coming out from behind the clouds. There's the pitons right up here. There they are. Right off the bow. Le pitons. Shift, so it's time to pull the sails down. Mission complete. Okay, you ready? peaceful passage. Welcome to Marigot Bay. And I wonder, now that you've seen it, this was one of my first vlogs back here actually in Marigot Bay, and I wonder how many of you might actually remember that video. But I wonder, do you remember this scene? Look at that. That is a signature peninsula full of palm trees. But does it look familiar? Anybody? Anybody? For those of you that don't remember, this is where I weathered my one and only full force hurricane. Right here in Marigot Bay. And it was not fun. And been there, done that, got the t-shirt, and that's why I'm bugging out this year. After I saw those category 5s go through last year in the North Caribbean, and then we had what, two tropical depressions went through south of Grenada last year as well, and that never happens. I mean, even Trinidad was affected. So no, this year just not interested. It's time to cut bait and move out of the Caribbean. Been dodging hurricanes for many enough years. Alright, next part of the mission. We are in St. Lucia, as you know, and we are on our way to the airport to meet Brenden. He's arriving today. He's supposed to be arriving about 2 p.m., but I just checked and he's already on the ground about 20 minutes early. So we're almost there. I'm just here with my new friend Dylan. How you doing? Actually, not new friend. I've known Dylan a few years, but he remembers me better. But we are on our way to the airport, go meet Brenden, and should be there shortly. So I imagine it's going to take him a little while to get checked out and everything, get all his luggage and everything ready, but we're almost there. Made it! Alright, cool. Thanks, Dylan. And then, as the old saying goes, all good things must come to an end. And so goes our story as we have to say goodbye to our beloved Sasha. And yes, we all knew the day would come, but that never makes it any easier. But Sasha has made the decision to follow a new path to her own adventures. So I hope you all will join me in giving her one last heartfelt send-off and wishing her well on her way. Oops.
Regionally sophisticated.
Somebody's not happy. And Sasha, if you're listening, I just want you to know that you are loved. And no matter where you go, no matter what you do, we will always be with you, and I will never forget you.